Hey everybody, 5th Horseman here, playing more Kerbal Space Program, and if you remember from a lot of episodes ago, this is our Moho ship. And you're wondering, what are we doing around Moho? Well, I'll tell you what we're doing around Moho. We're reminding you that me and Waffles are chilling out in Moho doing absolutely nothing because there's really nothing to do here. And Bill or Bob, I don't remember who it is on the surface. This is basically a bust as far as missions is concerned. We landed, we got fuel. We're yay. We have fuel. That's awesome. The big problem is there's nothing else to do. All we have is these two science things here, and once we're done with those, there's really no reason to ever do anything on Moho ever again. So I'm going to I've set up a transfer window. And I've found out that in 22 days, one's coming up. So I'm going to build a little craft that is going to come out here and pick the three of us up and bring us home so we can bring that tasty science home. And also get on maybe some better missions. Moho is one of the most boring planets, though, because it's just there. It has one set of biomes, and you're done. So, yeah. But let's go back to the actual what we're doing. And what we're doing is launching a ship. We are launching. I've made a ship called 3thHorseman. And Sidri, sorry, you are not going. This is going to be Bananas, Ankro. Ankro should be in the lead, but it doesn't really matter. And RD, if we really want to be technical. That's the order. But it really doesn't matter because this ship, they're not sitting in these spots, and you're going to find out why now. What is this craziness, you say? This is one of those bad ideas I have sometimes. This is much like the 1 to Moon or 1 to LKO ship that I had. This one is 3thHorseman. The three people are in this thing. Let's get them out of here before they die. And conveniently, they can all board their chairs from the holding onto that ladder. And then when we hit... Oh, I just realized I hadn't staged correctly. That would have sucked. When we hit space, this thing will fly off. And there it goes. And the capsule survived, so we could use it next time. Okay, so here are our three brave Kerbonauts. They are ready to do something crazy. And I just realized also this staging is bad as well. Okay, so this thing's going to go get us fairly high up in the sky. This is going to get us basically into LKO, and this is going to get us to Minmus, I think. If it doesn't, I'm not sure exactly what to do. We're going to control from here so we have some sort of semblance of goodness. We are going to turn on the computer. We're going to crank up this just so we have it when the time comes. And we are going to launch in 3, 2, 1, go. And go. There we go. I did throttle down the thrust weight a little bit. Notice it's 1.5-ish, just so our guys won't die. And while I was looking at that, I didn't take note that we fell over. This is bad. I am going to bring this up like this. As soon as this thing is done, there is an escape sequence, kind of. And that is to... Oh my god, aerodynamics is keeping us from... Ah! I'm sorry, that's hilarious. We're going to have to revert to vehicle assembly and fix that. Okay, that simulation complete. We have added some ailerons to this thing, and winglets, what do you want to call them? And, yeah. Let's go ahead and try it again. In 3, 2, 1. And I did it completely wrong. Okay. I hit the spacebar twice for some stupid reason, and we're falling. Let's try hitting F9 again. That was a curveball. Apparently, this just isn't going to work. So let's go ahead and, I guess, revert to launch, and then I will do all the loading up again. Okay, that second test that we had told us that the launch clamps really on the bottom of the rocket is a bad idea. So we have turned that off, and we are going to launch in 3, 2, 1, go. And this is looking a lot better already. We got a control from the correct place, namely here. And yes, we actually have control over our ship, which is, I'm going to go with critically important in a mission like this, or really like any mission. But yeah, we're cruising along. We have no control over our thrust, so it's just keep it upright, I guess. And then, yeah, another thing of it here is I would like to see what my atmospheric efficiency is like. Looks like I could crank down the burn a little bit on this guy, but it's not too bad. Maybe just a couple percentage on the solid here. I'm not trying to go east, but I am, so I'm just kind of going with it. The atmospheric efficiency is definitely a lot higher than I would like it to be, but there's not much I can do about it. And we're done with that. Let's go ahead and cruise it down to about 90 and then hit this guy, because he's going to be going a lot faster now. And yeah, we definitely got to crank this thing over because our apoapsis is already at 12. But yeah, you'll notice I tweaked the thrust down on these guys a lot. Specifically to keep the atmospheric efficiency down. And it looks like I succeeded on this one. This one's fine. I could actually have hit this one right away. But let's see. We're at 18, so I don't want to go down any farther than this. Now we're at 20. When we get up to 30, I'm going to want to be at 30, which I already am, which is, let's say, a challenge with this ship. Yeah, I don't have as much control as I would like. Of course, we're getting out of the thick atmosphere. And yeah, see, I'm not actually aiming it this way. It's just doing it. So we're gonna have a little bit more control once we dump the solid here, but I'm a little worried that we're in the area where we've used up too much delta V getting this thing into launch, or getting this thing into orbit. Because yeah, we're never gone below atmospheric efficiency, but yeah, just not good. So here we go. Actually, I should probably throttle up. Okay, now we actually have control, so I'm gonna... When did my computer turn off? Was my computer off the whole time? Was that the problem? Whoa, apoapsis is 152. And we do not have the delta V anymore to do this. So, I hate to do it, but we are going to try this launch again with the computer on. Okay, here we go again. Here we go again on our own. They look so happy to be launching here. Okay, and look at that. Oh my god, when you turn the computer on, how much easier it is to go straight up. It's crazy. Okay, so yeah, I'll keep you with me just because the last launch was so bad. But it's basically now it's try to do the launch that I always do, which is when I get to 5,000, I'm going to start going over very slowly. When my apoapsis gets to 20, I'm going to want to be right at 45, and then I'm going to move it down to 40, and then 30 at 30, etc. from there. So, yeah, but anyway, these guys are going to Minmus, and the purpose of their trip to Minmus is to give us extra people, because Minmus is basically our launch pad now. It is how we are getting people into interplanetary space. So what we're going to be doing here is at Minmus. Oh, Bye-bye. Yeah, we still... I want to keep it from going down because I'm only at 12. I'm doing the same thing I did before. Mayhaps it's just a problem with the ship. But let's see if I can actually fix it here with this guy. But anyway, the yeah, Minmus base is we're going to be building this Moho ship. We're going to be building the Eve ship and the Jewel ship all up there. So everybody needs to get off of Kerbin. Yeah, we're doing worse than we were last time. We are doing absolutely horribly. Okay. I don't want you to see me doing iterative launches here. That's not why you're watching this. You're here to watch me do the crazy things, not the boring things. And this is going to be one of those boring things. So I'm actually going to cut out here. I'm going to bring this down to say 58%. And this guy, I'm actually going to bring him up to say 39%. Yeah, because I'm in atmospheric stats. Although I guess it doesn't really matter. It doesn't change that much. And these wings, I think I'm going to bring them down. And this is all the stuff I said I wasn't going to show you. So, let's do it like that. I think that'll work without destroying these. They might get destroyed. I just realized that from that. So let's do that there. So it's hopefully not going to hit them. Only one way to find out. Okay, yeah, so I'm gonna do all this, and then when I get it into orbit, I will tell you what I did. So later. And when it rains, it pours. Apparently, I made slight little changes, and now I can't turn over fast enough to get in there. I think it might be just the fact that I started turning slowly. But we're doing okay now. I'm not gonna turn it anymore. I'm gonna let it do what it wants. Maybe I'll give it a little bit of oomph here because our apoapsis is already at 50. But 60. It's one of the problems with solids. You have no decision ability involved in them. But we can always just coast to apoapsis, I guess. Our apoapsis of it's probably going to be like 500 by the time this thing burns out. Okay. Now out here, we're going to do a maneuver just to get us out of the atmosphere. And I'm going to see now if that will be enough. That's going to cost us 474. Yeah. I don't think that's going to give us enough delta V to get to Minmus, because you need like a couple thousand, or you need like 1,000 from low Kerbal orbit. But if we were to just burn this whole thing out, all 837 delta V of it, yeah. Yeah, we can't even get to Moon. So, we need more fuel. So, I will be back even again. Okay, I'm back, and I'm positive it's going to work this time. 3, 2, 1, go. We changed it up a little bit. We've got fuel tanks here instead of that second solid rocket booster. I figured, why not just let's see, control from here. Why not just bring extra fuel for the engine we're already carrying along? So the solid's just going to get us up into the air. And then our other engine will take us the rest of the way. And I'm pretty sure it has a decent thrust to weight. I mean, those engines are, those 48 7S's are fantastic engines. Just getting myself on the right side of the nav ball here. Right being east and also correct side. Cruising along. I'm going to keep you until I make sure this part works, and then I'll meet you up in orbit here. So far, we're doing pretty well. Yeah, we're already at 10,000, so I would like to be tilted over a bit, but the game isn't letting me. But not much I can do about that. Until, of course, I cut my thrust because I want my atmospheric efficiency to go back down before I hit it. Yeah, we cannot hit atmospheric efficiency with this guy. But we can control the direction he aims, which is, I'm going to say, of critical importance here. And now it's just burn until we get to orbit. So I will see you in orbit. Okay, we are in space. I can turn their lights on. That's awesome. We are Devo. Actually, it looks like a flux capacitor there. We are not in orbit. We are running kind of low on electric charge, but I don't know if you know this. Kerbals can turn on their engines even without electric charge, and this thing has gimbaling on it, so it's not that big of a deal. I did turn off the computer to save a little bit of charge. When we get up to our apoapsis here, which we're three and a half or so minutes from here, I am going to get myself aimed in the right direction. There we go. I'm going to do the burn to pull my periapsis up above the atmosphere. I might actually just do it now. Now let's test that theory about... yeah, so he can still... There we go. Now we're not going to die. And we have a tiny bit of fuel left in here, but I'm going to keep it because 290 is a lot of delta V. So now we just have to plan our min-miss transfer, which is right here. Let's set that as our target. And actually looking fairly good to not this orbit, but the next one. Let's go ahead and do this maneuver node and see what it looks like here. How much is that going to cost us? 923, and we've got 1127. That should be plenty. But we don't want to do it on this orbit. So let's crank up time a little bit here to get around. See what it looks like on the next orbit. Still too far away. We can fiddle a little bit here. By burning a little early, we can meet it. Actually, how much will it cost? Negative 4.6 if we burn like this. 925. What is that in the normal? 44. 200. Not sure if it's worth it, to be honest. Because to get into min-miss orbit, we're going to need about... Yeah, it's just not going to happen. We can't fix a normal. So you know what? I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait a couple orbits here. Okay, we are back. I think, I don't know what that is. Seanwise Kerman debris. That's kind of a disturbing thought. I found a burn. I'm on my second orbit here. Our electric charge is fine. We're 2 minutes before this 40-second burn. So we're going to do this burn, and that is going to spend 925 meters per second, leaving us about 200 to get into min-miss orbit. And hopefully that's enough just to get us parking there, and then these dudes can get out and jump to the station. Possibly by getting this thing into a crashing orbit. Who knows? So let's go ahead and speed up time a little bit till we're 20 seconds away. We do have thrust gimbaling on the rocket, which is nice. But now it's just basically we're doing this maneuver node as close to exact as possible, because we're not going to be able to do very much twiddling with it, simply because we don't have any power to turn our ship around until we come out onto the sunlit side of Kerbin. So... Seriously? Kerbal Engineer was completely and utterly wrong about how much Delta V I had left in my ship. Okay, a sunrise launch of... I don't even remember what version this is. Oh, look at the sun reflecting on the waters out there. Yeah, I am not going to put you through this. Don't even want to put myself through it, to be honest with you. But I am going to launch this ship here, which has over 9,000 Delta V. It should... Yeah, the SRB is going to get us up. Then I'm going to dump these tanks once they're out of fuel. Then I'm going to dump these. Notice I put extra things on here because I actually had a little bit of trouble getting off the launch pad. But I'm not going to make you do that. I also waited till dawn so I would have power. Heaven forbid I could actually power my ship. And I hope those aren't going to get screwed up, but we'll find out. In 3, 2, 1, launch. And I'll see you in orbit. Okay, things are already looking better. I did have to make another change. RD, Encro, and Banyanyas. I did have to make another change to the ship, though. I had to add 4 more winglets because that ship just literally couldn't control itself in the atmosphere. But we're fine now. We've got plenty of liquid fuel. We've got plenty of Delta V. We got more than we need. But you know what? I'll take more than I need. It looks like, I guess RD is the is commander of this mission because he's sitting upright. Encro has been in the space program longer, but this is his first time to space. And actually, it's RD's first time to space. But while Encro was flying airplanes around, RD was learning how to fly this crazy ship here. So, yeah, but basically now, it is just wait. Oh, there we are. We're in space. Wait until we get close to our apoapsis. Burn out to get our periapsis up, which shouldn't be that long of a burn, to be honest. But let's find out what it is. Somewhere in the vicinity of 400 meters per second, which is going to be close to the end of this stage. And I'm going to have to decide what I want to do as far as dumping it. Because my other stage has so much Delta V, I don't really need the fuel in these guys. So I think I'm going to dump them. I'm actually going to get these guys aimed sideways. And then I'm going to dump them when our periapsis gets up to about 30 or 40. So that they will burn up in the atmosphere. So let's get ourselves aimed at our node. And crank up time until we're there, although it's only 40 seconds away. It's just a cool looking ship. It was a pain in the butt to make, but it just looks so cool. So when we get to 6 seconds, I guess, beforehand, let's get going. And I'm going to watch it by periapsis height up here. Basically, as soon as it breaks 0, I think I'm just going to dump these fuel tanks. And we just lost a dude. And I haven't saved at all. Well, I guess I did save technically on the launch pad, which is better than nothing. So, you've seen this many times before. I will again see you in orbit. Okay, once again, we are in space. I dropped the ailerons for an SAS module on the solid stage just because the ailerons were way too crazy. I also put the engines on the side so that RD can have his proper role sitting atop here even while burning. It's had a slightly better ascent here. We're only got an 8-second orbital insertion burn here, and we've got a lot more fuel than we had before, even though we started out with more mass, which is kind of cool. But we've also ideally fixed the problem with these by I'm going to hit X to cancel my thrust before I hit the space bar to let these things go so they don't knock people off, which is probably a good thing. So let's just get this above 0. And X. And then throttle back up. To get this up to... Oh, 94 by 84. Could be better, could be worse. Oh, look at that. RD's like, yeah, I'm the man. So there we go. Okay, we have orbit. We left no debris. And we are happy. Okay, now, Minmus. Where are you? There you are. This may seem familiar to you, anybody who was watching about 10 minutes ago when I was setting this up before. But this is going to take about 900 and some odd delta V to get a nice encounter here. And now I should definitely have it. It says I have 3,000. And if that is wrong, then I don't know what to do. I'm wondering if Kerbal Engineer uses the chair settings for an unmanned chair, which is why my... I mean, I know it uses it in the VAB, so it seems reasonable that it might use it also. Let's find a spot on Minmus to double-click on without accidentally selecting a thing. Okay. I'm going to fiddle with the node a little bit, even though I'm never going to get it exact. Yeah, there's no way that it's not affecting the node whatsoever. So I think I just got to do the burn, and then we'll worry about it once we've got our encounter set up. But let's see, it's 20 minutes away. We have nothing to actually do in those 20 minutes. So let's go ahead and crank up time. There go our engines down below us. Spiraling away into the atmosphere where they will eventually vanish. But not us. We're destined for Minmus. Assuming we still have power when the maneuver node comes. 900, it's about, what, a third of our thing. So, yeah, we're talking about 40 seconds, maybe 35 of the burn. Let's go ahead and get ourselves aimed correctly before we run out of power. There we go. So when we are, let's hit F5 before we say anything. Let's go ahead and crank it down to about 30 seconds. Oh, okay, let's start the burn now. Apparently I was way the hell off on my guesstimations. Yeah, that tells me that Kerbal Engineer is definitely wrong. And on a ship this small, it is wrong by a lot. So we'll see what that looks like when we're actually done here. I am going to report that as a bug. Well, we've still got plenty of delta V. And 4, 3, 2, 1, done. Oh, I'm like, why can't I turn? Oh, that's because... Let's see, we don't have an encounter yet. Oh, there's our encounter. Okay, we can't do anything about that until we are no longer in the shadows, as it were. Who knows what does something in the hearts of men? So let's go ahead and get ourselves into the sunlight. Now we can fiddle with our maneuvers here. Let's set up a maneuver node anywhere along the line here. Preferably on the actual line that we're on, not the purple one, which is where we're going to be. Okay, now I'm not going to actually change that maneuver node at all. I'm going to do it in precise node. So let's radial down. That looks... it was doing something for a second there. Let's prograde up. That's gone. Okay, prograde we can't touch. How about normal? There we go, and then radial. I guess we do need to prograde. Okay, so we don't need radial at all, it looks like. Oops. At least not yet. Radial might be good for fine-tuning. But currently, we need normal, or we need prograde and a little bit of normal. Huh. That is kind of crazy. Okay, let's bring the normal down. Whoa! Yeah, double click. That's exactly what I wanted. Thanks for doing what I wanted and not what I was trying to do. Oh wait, you didn't do that. So let's get ourselves aimed that way. It is in 17 minutes, but honestly, we probably don't need to wait that long. Let's actually look at our orbit. We might actually want to wait that long, because if you're too far away from it, it would be more efficient to do the burn now, but we're far enough away from it that we're actually going to turn quite a bit before then. So I think we are just going to wait for it. We're not in any hurry, and we've got plenty of delta V. So let's go ahead and crank up time. And we're going to do this burn of 7 meters per second. That looks fine to me. We're actually going to... I'm going to spin it around, because it looks like, yeah, we overextended ourselves a tiny, tiny bit. That didn't do what I wanted. Let's kill the maneuver node. Okay, let's burn. I'm making guesses here, which is always the right way to do everything. Whoa! Well, I guessed right. I just did not have a deft enough hand here. Let's go ahead and flip around. That's good enough. Okay. Periapsis. Add a maneuver to give ourselves an orbit. Now we need to set the refueling station as our target, because that's where we're going. And we need to slow ourselves down to right there. And then we can fix it out here. So there you go. That is what we are doing. And I don't know how long this episode is currently, because I've done so much not doing the episode. Actually, we pretty much have to get this shot. How's that? Yeah, I don't know how long this episode is, but I've been playing for several hours, and I'm getting sick of playing. This is a lot harder than I thought it would be. Now that I have the three people to min miss lifter, I can send people up 3 at a time, which is awesome. Yeah, I just don't want to do this anymore. So I'm going to stop the episode here, and if it's short, I will add more. If it's not, I will end it here. But assuming I do end it here, I hope you enjoyed watching this. All my complaining aside, I enjoyed playing it. I am 5th Horseman, and I will, as always, talk at you later.